Now this...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it going for local legends, Kyle Fields.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Yes, yes. I love how he said to keep it going as if it were going in the first place. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out, huh? Absolutely. So I like to watch this show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Did you guys ever watch that show back in the day? When you guys were probably, you know, in your 40s or whatever? Like, it was a real good show. There was this kid, Will, and he got into some trouble one day. They picked him up and spun him around in an old Terry Funk kind of airplane spin move from the 70s, you know what I'm talking about? And his mom got, caught wind of this, and she was a little bit of an overreactor because she wasn't really there for him because, his dad was on the road as a trucker. You find that out a little bit later on. Really got to me. So she's like, hey, you better get out of here. You better, I'm sending you with your wealthy uncle. Which, by the way, he was so rich, he couldn't have given any of that money to Will's mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think like if he's really in the hood and he's got 18 cars and, all like Jazzy Jeff's just hanging around, 16 kids, he couldn't put any money in an envelope, mail it anonymously. Quite frankly, when I heard we were doing a rehab facility, I thought it was going to be like that, So, I got ready for this show in a much different way. And he doesn't really fit in well with his Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil, right? Uncle Phil is the husband of his Aunt Vivian, who is the sister of his mother. And they butt heads a lot. Then there's Carlton. And see, Carlton is the exact opposite of Phil. Carlton is the guy who, grew up coddled, his whole life by Uncle Phil. Because, Uncle Phil came from the streets. Somebody wants to talk about Fresh Prince? They messaged him? What's going on? Did you watch it, Fresh Prince?
I don't believe it.
You can prove it to me. I got nothing but time, honestly. It's going to make my set a whole lot easier if you fumble through your phone for about 45 more minutes. And then you can slowly bring it over to me, and then we can riff for just a while. And then I can get my money, and we can all move on. Let's see. We got the... So this episode of The Fresh Prince was really amazing. So he throws a party, and Uncle Phil comes home, and it gets pretty wild. It's a pretty wild party. There's like a bunch of, ladies of questionable repute who come over. Because Will is, he's a little bit of a player. He likes the ladies. He's fresh. That's what they called it back then, is he gets fresh. And Uncle Phil comes home. And Uncle Phil is like, he's this big guy. You guys ever watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It was Shredder. You know what I'm talking about? The guy with the mask and the gimmicks on his hands? He was the guy who did the voice of Shredder. He gets up there and he's like, Will, what is going on? He uses some choice words. I didn't care for that part that much. And then Will and Carlton take Uncle Phil to court. And the best part about it is, it's so funny. They have two comedically different stories based on what happened. It was good. It says, because Uncle Phil's got the one where he talks about how, how it was just the worst. But then Carlton's got the one where, they were being real nice. I like that one. If you guys download HBO Max, I think they got a special running right now. It's like $2 less, or maybe it's $5 less than it was before.